it's me, Kimberly. So I just wanted to hop onto another video and just give a really quick spiel on what work study is. So I personally have work study because I have a job on campus, and so really what work study is if you work on campus and then your job is paying half of your check and then the government is paying for the other half of your check. So basically the moment you graduate, you do not have a job on campus because first of all, you're no longer a student, and especially you are no longer a student with work study, which means wherever you're working for or like with who you're working for, they have to pay you in full basically, and plus minimum wage goes up. So the biggest thing I feel like I would like to say about work study is on FAFSA, once you're like filling it out, they're going to ask you if you're going to like work on campus, and so if you would like to be offered on work study, my biggest piece of advice is say yes. Whether, especially if you're unsure whether or not you want to do it, I definitely say to put yes, because once you put yes, it gives you that option to be able to get a job. But if you put no, then you're obviously not going to be offered that extra money. And like what happens is, what if you decide to get a job on campus, but you're not getting that extra money, which I've heard that it's so much harder to get a job on campus if you say you don't have work study, because then it's the same thing. Like whoever you're working for is going to have to pay everything for you. I don't actually know about the minimum wage though, just because you're still a student, just one without work study. But I know for sure everything, like your checks is completely coming out of their pocket, and like not half of their pocket and then like half of the government's. But I would definitely recommend saying yes to work study. Or you could be like me and also get a job off campus, because we like to tire ourselves out over here at UCSD. So anyway, I have a job on campus and I have a job off campus. If you decide to not work on campus, or none of the jobs on your campus are hiring or like offering a job, or you just think it'd be better to work off campus because it's going to be more convenient for you. Remember, convenience is key, because the thing is, you know, it's your schedule. Chances of you working on campus, they're gonna go around your class schedule, obviously, because you're a student first. Just like in high school, when you're a student athlete, like your high school teachers have to like work with your schedule because you got games, you gotta go. So that's what's gonna happen on campus jobs. You are going to be able to work around your class schedule, and the chances of it interfering are slim to none. Plus, you know, things such as covering or trading shifts exist, so you could always take advantage of that if you are scheduled during class. But then, you know, you speak to your managers or like whoever creates your schedule, and they will fix it because you are a student before you are an employee. So keep that in mind. But if you do decide to work off campus, remember, you try to choose a job that's really going to take your schedule as a student into consideration, because if not, honestly, don't do it. You're going to stress yourself out, and plus in the end, it's not going to be worth it. Like, I understand some of us need the extra cash, or it's like we really need the money, but the thing is, it's like if you're tiring yourself and you're like not giving yourself an opportunity to rest, like in the end, you're just going to be physically exhausted all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean like all the time. Always. You're always tired, you're always exhausted, and you know, like you want to make time for yourself, but it's just like your body is physically giving out on you. It definitely depends on you as a person and whether or not you want to do this. Take it from me, I work every single day and I have 2 jobs. And yet, you know, sometimes the extra cash just isn't worth your sanity. I don't think it's worth your sanity. You know, if you're like very tired, or you're that type of person that loves hanging out with your friends but you just can't make the time, don't do it. Take one job or don't do it at all. But the whole point is, for sure, accept work study. Don't decline it, because chances of you getting a job on campus just because you're gonna need the extra cash and you don't want to ask your parents for it, or they can't give you any, then that job is gonna come in handy. Off-campus jobs, probably I wouldn't recommend to get them unless you are living off campus, because when you're on campus, you're just it's more convenient and relevant to stay on campus, jobs and housing. If you're off campus and you have a car especially, do what you gotta do and whatever works for you. But definitely don't be stressing yourself out, and don't think that you need a job to like survive college, you know? It's like there's so many other things that you can do, and if you don't have a job, you can also get like internships, paid or not paid, or you can join campus organizations, and so like you can be doing community service on the weekends or whatever. Like you'll be able to have all this extra time. But I definitely think if you are considering to already work the moment like you come to college, start with the on-campus jobs. And if not, if that's like your school doesn't offer what you feel like doing, or you know you're gonna wake up every day and be like, oh cool, like I get to go to work and I get to work with like some of my favorite coworkers or whatever, you know, like don't put yourself in that position. Just leave it, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, then you know it doesn't. Jobs, they're not everywhere, but it's definitely gonna be easier for you to find it when you have the time and you know you can mentally and your body can physically take it on. And so yeah, that is my advice. If you have any more questions on like jobs on campus or off campus, I definitely have a lot of experience on that. Or like I take a lot of jobs having to deal with food, so it's like if that's something you want to go to, I could definitely help you with that. And if you're trying to work retail, I have so many friends that have worked retail, and they could tell you about that. Do that, but just don't be afraid to ask me questions, whether it has to do with like personal experiences, like with jobs, or just like at college like experiences, or if you have real college questions that we were not able to answer in the videos, please feel free to contact me, and I hope I can answer them to your liking.